Hello, Supercars in Seconds here, today with the magnificent 2024 Rolls Royce Spectre. This particular one is in twilight purple, just unbelievable with the satin silver bonnet. Really makes for quite a statement. Then you look at the interior behind me, and again with tailored purple and Arctic white, really makes for a very special car. Let's touch the back of the door here. There's a little button, we'll close it up for us. But we'll explore the car today, go through all of her options and see what we think of this magnificent new EV. So let me climb inside here. It is rather spectacular. I could never describe the quality of the leatherwork, the finish of the paintwork, even this chrome door sill. Everything about it is just first class. The powertrain itself will come to shortly. Of course, I don't get to open the hood and show you that because it's just two electric motors. We have a 102 kilowatt battery. That's a huge battery in this car, which is kind of the floor of the vehicle, a bit like a skateboard, like a lot of them. The EVs, you know, wheels at each end with the battery pack in the floor, giving it a very low center of gravity. But this vehicle's high. She's also longer than the Wraith was before it, 215 inches long. But let's explore the exterior, the interior, and have some fun. I got a little button here to help me, but this is quite an experience. So walking up to the door, of course, these beautiful coach doors really make a lot of sense because you're actually approaching the vehicle and just sitting down and you push a button to close the door. You can also do it from the outside. If I just push that little closer there, it'll close the door from the outside. Dimensions of the vehicle, as I mentioned, 215 inches long. She's almost 7 inches longer than the Wraith before it. So really a fabulous car. The motors, we got 255 horsepower driving the front wheels, 485 horsepower driving the rear wheels. That doesn't combine to 700, it combines to 577 horsepower with the two motors working together and 660 pounds of torque. It's really fabulous. Again, the Rolls Royce first thing, meaning it doesn't throw you in the back of the seat like some of the crazy well-known electric cars can. However, the elegance and style of this vehicle pulls away with and frankly arrives somewhere is really special. Let's take a look up front. All right, up front here, the key of course has the same beautiful leather. They call it tailored purple inside, twilight purple just here with the satin silver bonnet. I hit the little triangle here that unlocks the car, sending our Spirit of Ecstasy up. I'll compare this Spirit to a standard Spirit of Ecstasy shortly, and you'll see a big difference in her design. I'll talk about it a little bit later. Obviously, the overlapped R logo is everywhere on the car, as you'd imagine. One of the most famous logos and brands anywhere in the world. This grille, just magnificent, very wide. I think it's wider than any Rolls Royce previously, and it's illuminated now with LEDs. So at night time, it gives good rear view mirror, they would say, as it comes up behind you. There's no mistaking this is a beautiful Rolls Royce. LED everything, of course, as you can imagine. I'll lock the car again. You'll see those little turn signals just here with the lights just below it. That goes back to the Phantom design from 2004 and so on. Further down, I don't know if you can see that, but this is part of the driver assistance program, and cameras everywhere, as you might imagine. Wide, 79 inches wide, heavy, almost 6,300 pounds on the road. Just an amazing car. Of course, as usual with Rolls Royce, that's the reflection in the door panel. Really insane. Over 100 pounds of paint in the vehicle. It takes 5 days to paint the silly car. Really just fabulous. 44,000 exterior shades available from Rolls Royce. I think they might have what you like. Gosh, look at that twilight purple paint. Isn't that beautiful? Wheel, just a monster. I'll put my hand up against it to give you some scale. She is a big one. This rear is a 12-inch actually by 23, giving us a tire of 295 35R23. It's a Pirelli tire made for the car, and just a magnificent design. We can make these internal lines black. We can do all sorts of things. I love the colored center caps, again in the the twilight purple to match. The rear of the car continuing that sort of Wraith family look of the sloping roof line. And this is our huge charging port. She is unlocked. If I push on here, it'll pop open. And they've thought about it very seriously, because here I have the AC charger, but I can push here for DC fast charging as well. She'll take up to 195 kilowatts going into the car. So she will charge super fast. Very impressive there, as you'd imagine from Rolls Royce. Total range on the vehicle varies 275 miles-ish. Around town, it's interesting. It doesn't seem to use much charge. On the highway, of course, being heavy, she does. But again, generally, this one's not going to be a daily commuter car. Should be used going to events and so on. Perhaps going to the airplane or the larger yacht. In here, some lovely detailing. Going back to the sort of horology of the watch industry, just showing little polished detail. The gloss black below is a nice option as well. If I push the little square here, that'll open up our great big trunk. Let's move the camera across and we can take a look in there. Look at this thing. Gosh, it's just massive. But the floor is high because, of course, the base of the vehicle is all batteries. So as you approach the vehicle and climb aboard, all I have to do when I'm ready is touch the brake pedal and it will close the door for me. I do have an engine start-stop button, which of course turns the motors on and gets all the systems working. Let's go and have some fun. Okay, in true Rolls-Royce fashion, everything is so glossy and shiny in here, it almost dazzles the camera. This open port, this grey wood is just beautiful. It's, of course, the Starlight headliner, of course. But again, there's that purple-coloured speedometer available in about 12 different colourways. And there's a slight tint into the other displays as well. So you'll see our range on the right shown there. And as usual in a Rolls-Royce, our power reserve gauge. That's sort of a... as you're touching the gas, or the accelerator, I should say, in this car, so touching the accelerator, it will drop that power. And I've got it set with a little button here. You might see on the gear lever, it says B. That battery mode is much more aggressive on the regenerative braking. It really works rather well. Not as aggressive as some of the other electric cars, but it will slow the car down quite severely compared to how it is where that button is switched on. Okay, I've turned the air conditioning down to just the soft. They have soft, medium, and high. Then a max button, of course, but they have to have a slight sound to not disorient you. This vehicle is so quiet, you just can't imagine. I'm actually in gear right now. I'm just going to release the brake. They're moving now. There's the doors locked. That was the loudest thing I heard. All right, let's go into old Batman's corner. We have 577 electric horsepower. Let's have a go. Oof. Okay, there's the window sticker. I don't know if you heard that. There's a musical note that occurs when I hit the accelerator over a certain level. Let me see if I can get it to do it again. That was wonderful. Hang on a minute. Listen. Just fabulous. I'm the king of the world once again. I'm going to hit the brakes incredibly hard. A 16-inch front rotor, all steel, of course. Here we go. Ooh. Wow. Impressive. Gosh, that was really, really good. I've driven a lot of Rolls Royce cars. I've been very lucky, but that's a different level of braking. That was really good. Gosh, I wish I could get across to you guys how fun this is. The quality of the vehicle, the ride is second to none. The wind noise that you would normally get in an electric car, because there's no powertrain, of course, no engine, no exhaust to listen to, no transmission really, is much, much quieter as a car. It's actually super relaxing. I love this thing. There's a reason they're expensive. Do you know what's interesting? They've put a sound to the vehicle. It's very strange. It almost sounds like the V12. How the heck have they created that? When you get very deep into the accelerator, wow, went around there beautifully. All-wheel steer, of course. Can you hear that? It's almost like a rushing sound, a bit like the 12-cylinder sound. This is spooky. It's called the Spectre, which is a ghost, and I think they might have a ghost in here. Gosh. Wow, this can really hustle you along at amazing speed and in unbeatable style. Let's do the regenerative braking here. God, it stopped me like you could barely tell you were stopped. Very interesting, very interesting. Okay, we're in a Rolls Royce. It's got nearly 600 horsepower. What would you do? Oh gosh, man, this thing is powerful. Of course, no transmission, so you're not waiting for the gear change to come. It never comes. EV makes the most sense to this brand, I think, than any other brand in the industry. I've said it a few times in the showroom. This brand Rolls Royce has been trying to make the powertrain silent for a century. Now they can, and it is completely silent. Let's loop back around here. Hang on a minute. We'll loop back around and go the other way. All right, let's hit it. Yes, it's got that EV push, you know, that these big electric cars have. The vehicle's high. I think that's the takeaway I'm getting today. Obviously, you're expecting a $550,000 car. You're expecting it to be magnificently smooth and quiet and so on. But this is just another level. But what's interesting, a bit like the Phantom vehicle, it's high. I feel like I'm in one of those crossover SUVs almost. It's not the regular height of a sedan. This is a tall vehicle. She's 65 inches high. You know, this is a tall vehicle. Width 79 inches again is I think big. It does disguise its size. I love the sound. It does disguise its size when you're going slowly. You know, the steering is sharp and not a lot of feel, as you'd imagine. It's not designed for that. This is not going to be your track car. But point A to point B, maybe the most elegant car ever made. So I've made it back to the dealership now. It's actually depressing to have to take this thing back. I kind of want to take it home. The vehicle is magnificent. I could never get across to you the quality of the workmanship in the car. This, now I understand what they meant by it's a Rolls Royce first. It is an unbelievable experience. I mentioned earlier about the Spirit of Ecstasy. I'll flash up the conventional Spirit of Ecstasy now. There, and she's taller with the left wing a little higher and so on. Now this is the new Spirit of Ecstasy, and her feet are, if you notice, slightly more in front of each other, and she's curved over about 15 degrees more. It really is some detail and so on that you just don't see from other brands. Well, thanks for watching. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel if you don't mind. We'd love to have you be a part of this crazy world we're in, and I'll catch up with you on the next video. Thanks for watching.